Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LBFT. This is episode 7 of LBFT Season 3. For this episode, I'm going to be talking about one guy, one man, who is the star quarterback for an NFL franchise that has not won a Super Bowl since 2010. Which is a decade, by the way. Almost a decade, technically, but that's neither here nor there. And that one man that I'm talking about in this episode, or going to be talking about, is none other than the one and only Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, the star quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. A team that he had to carry on his back for years, maybe a decade, ever since they won a Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl. And Aaron Rodgers winning his first, and being a Super Bowl MVP. And after that, being two-time league MVP. That Aaron, being a 7-time Pro Bowler. That Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to be talking about him in this episode for one thing above everything else. For one reason and one reason only. And that is his performance last Sunday against the Oakland Raiders, coached by John Gruden, the $100 million man in Oakland, as Stephen A. Smith would call him, or nicknamed him. So I'm going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers' performance last Sunday against the Raiders at Lambeau Field, because I was so ecstatic, or in English terms, so excited to talk about him. And then, his performance last Sunday against the Oakland Raiders is not actually the one and only reason why I'm doing this episode. There's another reason why. After that game, he became the fastest player in NFL history to pass for 350 touchdowns and reach that milestone in 172 career games that he played in. Which surpassed Drew Brees, who achieved that same milestone in 180 games, which is 8 games less than Aaron Rodgers. 172 career games with 350 touchdowns passed by Aaron Rodgers. 350 passing touchdowns for Drew Brees and 180. You can't make this up. He's just that for real. The man was special yesterday. I could not be any more happy. Aaron Rodgers has not looked better than he had last Sunday. I'm telling you that right now. He was spectacular. The best performance I have seen from Aaron Rodgers thus far this season. Maybe in the past few years that I've seen from Aaron Rodgers. I've never seen a better performance from Aaron Rodgers than I had from last Sunday. He's that great. He's that elite. I was in awe of him and how well he performed. And of course, with the team that he had to work with, of course, you can't be a one-man show. You can't be a single player to win against an entire team without help. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. It really doesn't. But that's a different subject for another day. So, Aaron Rodgers, in this game, completed 25 of his 31 passes in this game. 25 of 31. He passed for 429 yards, averaged 13.8 yards per pass, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, only sacked once in this game. He had a QBR of 97.2. And to top it all off, he had a perfect passer rating of 158.3, which by the way, that makes Aaron Rodgers the very first Green Bay Packers quarterback to finish a game with a perfect 158.3 passer rating. Unreal. So you mean to tell me that Brett Favre never had a perfect passer rating in his entire career before Aaron Rodgers came along? You're telling me that? And the other quarterback before Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers, I don't know what his name is at this point, but anyway. So Aaron Rodgers is the very first quarterback in Green Bay Packers history to have a perfect passer rating of to finish a game with 158.3 in passer rating. Perfect passer rating. Unbelievable. So yeah, that's like amazing, but that's not all. That's not all. There's more than I have. That's actually one of the 5 incredible facts about Aaron Rodgers' performance against the Oakland Raiders. That's just one of them. I hadn't even mentioned the other 4. I'll start off with the second. Technically, the first, the one that I said where he had perfect passer rating, that was number 2. The first one is Aaron Rodgers became the 9th player in NFL history to pass for 350 touchdowns in his career. The other 8 guys are as follows: Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Phillip Rivers, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and Eli Manning. Those are the 8 other guys before Aaron Rodgers that have passed for 350 touchdowns in their careers. Aaron Rodgers became the 9th player to do that. Great. That's awesome. So that's fact number 1. I already told you about the fact number 2, so I'm not going to repeat it. I'll move on to number 3. I did earlier in this episode. I told you that he completed 25 of his 31 passes in this game. Well, this might surprise you, or it might not surprise you, depending on how you look at this. Aaron Rodgers had as many total touchdowns, which include 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. He had 6 total touchdowns, as he had incompletions, which is 6. 31 minus 25 equals 6. Let me repeat. He had as many total touchdowns as he had incompletions in this game. If that does not amaze you, I don't know what is. That's great. Now, number 4. Aaron Rodgers completed 10 passes to running backs for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. 11 passes to wide receivers for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. And 4 passes to tight ends for 65 yards and 1 touchdown, which, by the way, both of which, by the way, are to Jimmy Graham. So, yeah, that's That's impressive. I never know about that until I saw a site where it gives all the stats and statistics and all that, blah 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 blah. And then the fifth and final fact that I put down on my list for this episode is, for the first time since 2013, Aaron Rodgers completed over 80% of his passes, averaged 10 plus yards per pass or per throw, passed for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in a single game. Bruh. I mean, that's the only thing I can. That's the only word I can use to describe that. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And by the way, that fifth fact that I just brought out to you, it wasn't from any site whatsoever. It was actually the one that I made up for myself, because I actually did some research before I did this episode. I actually, again, did some research, and I brought down that only fact that was from me, not from other sites, but from myself, because I did some research on Aaron Rodgers' performance against the Raiders, and talked about how great he was. So yeah, those are just some of the the new reasons why Aaron Rodgers, from a talent perspective, not just about accomplishments, but because we all know that Tom Brady owns Aaron Rodgers in that regard, in terms of accomplishments. But in terms of talent, in terms of skill set, his ability and willingness to throw the football while being under pressure by defenses, and being able to pull off with a lot of sick throws that were not easy to make, let alone to catch by any receiver. Aaron Rodgers, to me, is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. Just in terms of talent, in terms of skill set that he possesses, and I mean, he just beats Tom Brady in that regard. He's more talented than Tom Brady. His throws, I would say, are more effective, and are more, like, I don't know what the word is for it. Just more effective and more surprising, and really impressive than Tom Brady's throws. I'm not making it up. Yes, Tom Brady throws a football quicker than Aaron Rodgers. Yes, 2.5. He throws the football usually in 2.5 seconds. That's really good. He beats Aaron Rodgers in that regard as well. But in terms of, again, I mean, in terms of scrambling out of the pocket and being able to throw the football to any receiver that is open, and being able to pull off with some height or with some Hail Marys, and I got a bunch that could come to my mind, but I'm not going to in this episode. I just don't doubt. I just never doubt against Aaron Rodgers, especially in fourth quarters of a game, of any game that he played in, at home or on the road, or even in a Super Bowl. I never bet against Aaron Rodgers, especially in the fourth quarter of a game. Never doubt him, and neither should you, unless you don't like Aaron Rodgers and you like Tom Brady. Then I can understand why, because Tom Brady does have a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, but Aaron Rodgers had some fourth quarter comebacks as well. Don't think for 1 second that the man has done a lot to lead his team to victories. come crunch time. Because he has done it before, many times, throughout his career. The man is a... I mean, what else could I say? I mean, there's nothing more that I need to say about how great Aaron Rodgers is, because he is great. And there's no... And there's... How do I say this? We don't have to talk more about how great he is as a quarterback talent and stuff like that. I just love me some Aaron Rodgers. One of, if not the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Terms of talent. I'm not talking about accomplishments. I'm talking about talent. I'm talking about skill set. His willingness, his ability and willingness to throw the football when it counts most, and then give his team victories come crunch time. Well, when palms get sweaty and backsides get tight, and stuff, just stuff like that. You all get what I'm saying. You get the idea. So anyway, guys, yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions about Aaron Rodgers' last Sunday performance and 42-24 win at home at Lambeau Field against the Oakland Raiders. That was the best game I have seen Aaron Rodgers played in recent years. I don't know if I ever seen a better Aaron Rodgers performance than I had from last Sunday. He's that special. When you see that man throw the football, you know that something is going to happen, and whatever's going to happen, or however it's going to happen, you know something is going to happen, and it usually turns out to be something special from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he makes the NFL so exciting to watch. He just makes the NFL, and along with other quarterbacks in the league, make football more exciting to watch. And I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I love me some Aaron Rodgers. He's just that great of a thrower. I personally believe, and I said this before, but I personally believe that he is the greatest thrower of the football I have ever seen in my life. That's what I personally believe. I believe he's the greatest ball thrower I have ever seen in NFL. In all my years of watching the NFL, which are, I would say, 4 years or 5. So, yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. You can feel differently, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. That's just how this whole thing works, right? So anyway, this is that's all I have to say for this episode. This is episode 7 of LBFT Season 3. I hope you guys have a great night. I apologize that I'm doing this episode very late, but hey, better late than ever, right? So anyway, guys, that's it. Have a great night, and yeah, sleep well.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it that like button to click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, make sure to press up there to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that bell icon so that you'll get notified about my latest videos. Have a great day, and as always, fight the good fight.